You cannot say you're an engineer and you don't have a very good headphone. Oh, no. That is one of the best tools you can invest upon, I can tell you. You can invest on one of the best. Look for the best clarity that give you good clarity headphone and buy as an engineer. You cannot dodge it. You cannot shy away from it. Not the earpiece. I'm talking about professional headphone. Studio grade A standard that you can use to hear when you solo your equipment. You can bring in the kick. When you are mixing your kick, you can tighten it up from your headphone and hear it directly before pushing it out. So it is very important that we must understand that our greatest tools, that is not software but hardware that we need to work with, that is very important, is our headphone. Which type of headphone are you using for your mix? This earpiece, the one they use for phone? No, you can't get a satisfactory result. You have to buy the one that can cover your ear completely. Why? Because it will shed away all the surrounding noise from you so that they will not disturb your hearing and they will not disturb your mix. It will close up your ear and it cut you off from all surrounding noise. So it means that it's only that area that you'll be able to concentrate upon and work upon it, do your mixing and get the best and great results out of it. So you have to get a good headphone. It's part of the protocol. As a professional audio engineer, you need to get a good headphone. And it costs much, but if it's worth it, why not buying it? If you go online, you see B&H, even on AliExpress, you can see, even on Jumia, you can see some professional microphones that are good, that you can get. Now, moving forward, don't fall into the trap of mixing visually. Sound can share portion of frequency spectrum and still sound crystal clear. Listen, don't just look. That's what I'm telling you. You have to listen. Don't just look on the spectrum that you have put it there. Okay, when you put it, how does it sound? You must confirm it from your headphone. And if you don't have a good headphone, there's no way you can confirm a good sound. That's just as simple as that. Now, moving forward, you can see that dynamics are one of the potential ingredients. Let me use that word that we use in our sound mixing. Just like somebody that is cooking, there are some ingredients that you use when you are cooking a jollof rice or when you are cooking a fried rice. There are different species, specimen differently. So, when you're cooking a fried rice, there are some ingredients you have to eat. When you're cooking a jollof rice, there's an ingredient you have to eat. It's not the same ingredient that you had to jollof rice that you apply also to fried rice. And mind you, both of them are rice. Even when you're cooking Chinese rice, there are some ingredients you have to eat that is different. We are talking about rice here, but we have talked about 3 types of rice. And we are talking about the ingredient. So dynamics, I can tell you, is part of our own ingredient that we use to mix our sound to bring out the beauty. The beauty. Now, it now depends on how you use it. Now, I want to cook a fried rice now. If I'm cooking a fried rice and I put too much of seasoning, nobody will eat it. The same thing if I'm mixing a sound for a live concert and I put too much of reverbs, it will spoil my show. So how do you apply your dynamics? Do you know the time to put in the dynamics? Do you know when it is okay? Do you know when it is too much? Do you know when it is under? When you need to bring it up to a balance? You need to be able to discern and listen and understand how to use your dynamics. I bet your mix is starting to sound like it knows what it's doing, but something is missing. This something is compression. Do you know the time to compress? Do you know the time not to compress? At times, I've continued. As times have continued, listeners have begun to accept the expected higher ratio of compression. It is what it is. High compression with low threshold is very appropriate for pop music, but will butcher a classic performance. So what? Choose wisely. Who is your band? What type of song are they singing? It is high life, it is reggae, or it is our local traditional tumba style. What type of effect goes with this different type of music I just mentioned in a live setting? You need to make your findings. You need to know. You cannot pretend you don't know as an engineer. You need to make your findings. Which type of effects can I apply for this? You need to know. You cannot shy away from it, and you cannot pretend know. So, all we are talking about is that, just like I've made example, if effect is too much, the compression is too much, it is to spoil everything. You may find out that it's okay for a reggae music. High life, it may not. It may be too much. Now, choose wisely. The goal of compression is to dynamically the altitude of each waveform. This produces a consistency in the volume, removing fast attacking spikes or dips. Sometimes a single body will waver in front of a mic stand, producing inconsistent volume in an otherwise amazing performance. Maybe the bassist plug that one string a little too hard in the second verse. Your job is to fix it. You can see that we cannot shy away from our catalyst. This issue. We cannot from there. But we are problem solvers. We must find solution to it. Just like this has expressed. If you need to use compression on a particular, use it. But use it. If you need to use compression on any dynamic range or effect on a bass guitar, use it. If they even vote for vocal, you have to apply it wisely. You have to use it. If you don't use it, you just run the drive. Fine, but it is good. It makes your sound. It makes your audio sound better when you are to know how to apply dynamics in your settings. Now, effect. The dynamics is something that people think compressor, limiter, and all those gates are dynamics. And it's not everything you compress. You don't need to compress when it's not necessary. But when it's necessary, please go ahead and do it. You are not effects now. We are moving to effects. You are not sitting on the word most clear. But dry and boring songs, even to be made. This is, but you haven't used any special effect to produce what is called a sense of wetness. You know, some people like their production to be wet. But I can tell you, effect will make it beautiful. In fact, outstandingly beautiful. If you know how to apply effect, your voice effect, your reverberation, your all reverbs, your medium room reverb, your effect for kick, the lower hand, that's the correction and the lower hand of your kick, out to sonic extras, planners, you have all. Yeah, in fact, the beautiful thing is that most of these effects have been stored in digital console. It's just for you to go and you go and retrieve it and apply it to the particular channels or fader you want. That's a beautiful. A mixer console, a digital mixing console is very beautiful. You just go to where it is stored and you extract it out and you apply to the particular channel, maybe the kick or the voices. You want to give them a particular effect, you can go ahead so that there is no wetness in your vocals. You can add some particular. In fact, you can add different effect for the female voice and another effect for the male voices. For the lead singer, you can give him like chorus, something that is outstanding, reverb and chorus. All those things are very, very important to help you out of the sense of wetness. Instead of your music just being dry, you can make special effect to make it more clear. This is where you can shine with your artistic, yet subtle choices. Often, a trained listener won't even know why they prefer a certain mix at this stage over another, but it is entirely due to the choice made here. This is your chance to surprise the listener with some ear candy. Whether through the additional or removal of an effect, you can draw attention where you like during certain segment of a song. So you see, we just need to be creative and be very, very good in the way we use our effect. And you don't just do mix. I was once like that because I don't know how to use effect, so I don't use it. But when I discovered that, when I started using it, and this thing is good. It makes my audio production beautiful. Then I start to learn more about effects. Even you can see from this training, I don't know how many of us have gone to YouTube. If you have gone to YouTube to watch the episode of the series of the online training, GFI online training, I was editing it with Adobe CC software. And for the audio section, I have to add effects to it. I think I did it for the series 4 and series 3. If you hear you hear the voice you are hearing has some background effect, like in a room effect. And it makes the audio more clear. So we just need to know how to approach our effect and use it. And it makes, in fact, it will make your sound to be more outstanding. Now, as we move forward, sound check. You see, this topic, sound check, it has always been an issue with the choir instance. If you are setting up a choir or a band, most of them, they don't come for sound check. And when they come, they want you to balance up their equipment and make their instruments sound very fantastic. No, it doesn't work like that. As an audio engineer, in every setup that you must do, please, this word, sound check, you must do it. Before the beginning of a show or of a service in church, you must do sound check. The choir, they are not ready, they pray, and when they pray before they come out, yes, they have to go and pray. I agree with you, before coming to sing praise and worship. But there must be room for sound check. As an engineer in the house of worship, you must let them know that it is important for you to do sound check. You know the reason why? If you don't do sound check in the first 15 minutes of the service, when they start playing, then you will still be doing your sound check. It means that when If they give a choir 30 minutes, then it means that for an engineer, 15 minutes out of that, their 30 minutes is what you are going to use for sound check. So before the sound will really balance up, they will have taken 15 minutes off. And the remaining 15 minutes is what they now left for worship. But if they can come on stage before the rail and do a sound check, even if it is 10 minutes, the same thing with band, live sound. So when we went to live sound, the band have arranged, they must do sound check. You must be able to balance so that by the time the show begins proper, so you have to insist. Yes, let me use the word. You have to insist for sound check. So here are the procedure for proper front of house sound check to be done as follows. 1, start with the input gain control. We talk about gain in the beginning of this lecture. The input gain control that open the gate into your channels on your digital mixing console or analog mixing console. Completely counterclockwise. You know what is meant by counterclockwise? You turn it down like you are closing it. You close all your gain. Don't open any gain. Close all your gain completely. If it is 32 channels mixer you are doing, close your gain. Then the second thing you do now set any submaster slide and master left and right fader slide, set it to unity gain of 0 dB. On our master control faders, there's 0 dB, which is the unity gain. Put your fader there. After closing all your gain, put your fader at 0 dB. Now, set each channel's level on the fader slide control to -6 dB. The faders, that's for the channel's fader. The channel's fader, set them on -6 dB, -6 dB, -6 dB. Now, 4, have the performance band to sing or the choir to play to the loudest sound in that repertoire. It is important that the bass guitar, the drummer must play to the loudness. The voice, the vocal must sing to the loudness because it will help you to get your gain structure right. That was what they're trying to check. By the time they play to the loudness, it means that you are going to get your gain structure right. Now, after you have asked them to play to the loudness, 5 said bring up each input gain until you determine that it is plenty enough loud. So your gain have already been close to anti-clockwise. If you lock it, you now begin to release your gain one after the other as they are playing to be able to get the right gain structure of loudness. 6, set the input gain to each channel to produce 1 volt or 0 dB or less in some cases. Then the audio mixer will be able to sum all of the channels while maintaining the necessary headroom. Do you understand that? Let me explain that. You see, 1 volt of 0 dB. As you move 0 dB, you move 1 volt. And that 1 volt is going to be calculated with your amplifier output. So as you gain up 1 volt, you gain up 1 dB. So if you gain up 1 dB, you gain up another 1 volt. So it means that the signal that is opening up for your gain, I'm talking from the gain structure now. You open by 1 volt, 1 dB. As you are moving 1, you are increasing the signal with 1 volt because there are some electrical current also that goes into those channels. As you move with them. So you must be very mindful so that you don't make the signal to be too high, the voltage coming in. Because if the voltage is too high, that is what will go and indicate distortion at your master output. Then you see the red light giving you a red light is blinking. Your red light is blinking. It means that your gain is too high. Your gain structure for that particular channel is too high. When you see that red indicator coming up on your console, either on each channel or on the final output, Now, after the input gain is set for each individual channels, have the band to play assembly assembled of all together. So after you have set the gain, you now ask them to play again. You now ask them to play. So they now start playing again, and by that time, you'll be able to now get the particular level for the faders. It's now the faders you'll be dealing with, not the gain. But the first play will be for the gain, while the second one will be for your fader to know the level that is appropriate. Turn down the sub or individual channels fader slide of those submix to individual channels that are too loud. So, that's what I just explained. You have to be looking for the fader slide. Any channel that is now too loud, you begin to bring them down. Begin to use your faders. So it means that your gain structure was gotten right, and your faders will now be the one that you'll be working with throughout the performance. So you don't need to go to the gain of all the time, except it's important. But once you do a sound check, you get your gain structure right. It is very important. We must know that.